Hi guys, it's Jam and today I'm gonna walk you through a day in my life.
Basically, pumaparty po kami ngayon.
So yeah, I just woke up and I just took a bath. So I'll kinda look presentable. And now we're just gonna do our research and I'm gonna show you my setup. My thoughts while doing some research.
I'm so bored, so bored.
Basically, I did research the whole day. Then I'm just gonna go through my class. So, yeah. What's next? Oh, wait. There's no class. Okay guys, I think I don't have a class. And I'll just research the topic for today.
Medical experiments, too, were standard procedure at many concentration camps. These included lowering the body temperature to 28 degrees centigrade, high-altitude tests in pressure chambers, experiments with poison bullets and contagious diseases, and even sterilization.
Questions to us. I saw these women, these beautiful little children, babies, sitting on the road waiting their turn. And I would, my eyes saw it, my brain didn't accept it, and my whole system didn't accept it. That's how I think I coped. And not just in retrospect, but I know that I did not have the ability to absorb it.
But more terrible still were the concentration camps, which from the beginning had been the conspirators' chief weapon against opposition of every kind. German anti-Nazis were the first victims, but with the war advancing, their numbers swelled to include citizens of all the nations of Europe. Their fate is described by witness Rudolf Höss, 1943, and estimate that at least 2.5 million victims were exterminated there by gassing and burning. At least another 500,000 died due to starvation and disease, making a total of about 3 million dead.
Whew, guys, so it was pretty horrible things that happened, the genocide, the Holocaust, but I'm glad that people took a step forward to implement some laws that could help the minority. In this age of relentless innovation, we're obliged to absorb all of the ongoing knowledge researchers present us and maybe get overwhelmed by it. But what do researchers back in time did so we have all of this information we have at hand? We passed human trials, pain, dying, and injustice. In order to stop these events, several measures were done, one of which was Belmont Report. Belmont Report was a document written in the 1970s at the Belmont Conference Center, Maryland, USA, by a group of medical and psychological professionals. It is aimed to outline ethical guidelines for experimentation using human subjects. The content of this report is the boundaries between practice and research, basic ethical principles, and lastly, application. The Boundaries between practice and research. Practice refers to interventions that are designed with the purpose of enhancing the client's well-being and has a reasonable expectation of success. It provides diagnosis, prevention, and therapy to individuals. So basically, practice is the practice of medicine. So to diagnose, prevent, and provide therapy to the clients. Meanwhile, research is an activity designed with the purpose of testing the hypothesis and draw conclusions from it to contribute knowledge. Research and practice can be carried on together when research is to evaluate the safety and efficacy of the therapy and of course should undergo review for the protection of human subjects. Basic ethical principles. So there are three basic ethical principles: respect for persons, beneficence, and justice. Respect for persons. Respect for persons has two ethical convictions, wherein number one is individuals should be treated as autonomous agents, and number two, persons with diminished autonomy are entitled to protection. There are also two moral requirements under respect on persons, is that number one, we must acknowledge autonomy, and number two, protect those with diminished authority. Next ethical principle is beneficence, wherein this is an obligation and is stated on the Hippocratic Oath of Physicians. It means do not harm and maximize the possible benefits and minimize possible harms. For the last basic ethical principle is justice. So there are formulations on ways to distribute burden and benefits. Number one, to each person an equal share. Number two, to each person according to an individual effort. Number three, to each person according to individual effort. Number four, to each person according to societal contribution. And number five, to each person according to merit. So we must align our thoughts in these formulations on how to distribute the burden and benefits of the justice. And now, how do we apply these in the real world? So, number one is informed consent. So, the informed consent contains information, comprehension, and voluntariness of each participant in the research. The participant must be able to be informed on the study, comprehend the study, and must volunteer on the study. Number two is the assessment of risk and benefit must be presented to the participant. The nature and the scope of risk and benefits to know how big or small the benefit or the burden the participant might get. And of course, the systematic assessment of risks and benefits wherein the participant can judge on how balanced the risk and benefits he or she might get. And I think that's about it. One of the historical events in ethics that pointed out the flaws of human research. The discovery and knowledge wanted by the people must still preserve the state of humanity, the sense of integrity that such risk might happen, and with that, I want to leave you with a quote by Samuel Jackson: "Integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, and knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful."